Good evening, everyone. I am here to talk to you about Daredevil action figures, or at least the 4 versions that I do have in my collection. So let's get this thing started with the first version I have, which is the oldest one. It would be this one right here. This is a Daredevil that was released by Toy Biz, and it is part of the early Marvel Legends from many years back, around early 2000s. He showed up in the Spider-Man classics at that time, Marvel Legends, and he also showed up in a boxed set of Urban Legends, Marvel Legends, that contained the Daredevil, Elektra, Spider-Man, and Punisher. So the mold and the figure were used twice. And he was also used for a repainted version, same sculpt but repainted version of a first appearance Daredevil costume, which would be the yellow and dark red one. So this particular figure has a great deal of articulation. For example, the shoulders, they can rotate, they can go up and arms can go up and down and go all the way 360 degrees. Shoulders can go sideways. The arms can go sideways as well. He has a great deal of articulation for that time, because that's what really made the Marvel Legends famous at that point. He also came, aside from the fact that he came with a plastic stand, which I don't really use in my display, he did come up with his walking stick, or a billy club, that is connected with a string and can be stored in on his leg, on the side of his right leg. He also has articulation in the head, can look up and down, left and right, and his legs can make a complete split. You would have to have the billy club removed in order to do it. But anyway, this is how it would look when he does it. So the legs can go also forward. You can arrange them into a great many different poses to copy his movements from the comics. The fact about him is that he does have a secret identity. He is known as Matt Murdock by his real name at daytime, when he is an actual blind attorney at law, and he's always on the lookout for criminals that need to be punished who escaped the courts of law. He's there to administer the justice, or the blind justice, because according to the story, he lost his eyesight when he was just a child in an accident. But even though he lost his eyesight, all his other senses got enhanced, and he's able to use them to fight crime. So this would be one, and the eldest version of Daredevil figure that I have. The next one, that came about a few years later, would be this particular Daredevil. The articulation is pretty much identical to the previous one, except the sculpt is different this time around, and there is some differences in the costume. This costume, for example, is more brighter red, and the head is different sculpt, but the mask remains the same. And he has highlights on his boots. He does still have a billy club and a place where to store it, but this time it's located on the left leg rather than the right leg. This particular figure came as a part of, again, Toy Biz Marvel Legends offerings, and it came as a part of a sub-series of Marvel Legends called Face Off, in which case you will get 2 figures, a protagonist and antagonist, in the same package, and many of these characters will have the variants of them, meaning with either different color of the costume or with a different facial expression. So this particular Daredevil came with a figure of Kingpin wearing his classic attire, and Kingpin came with a walking stick that has a diamond on it. This particular Daredevil came with a billy club, and he also came with a stand where he and Kingpin can stand on, and a small background picture, which I don't have anymore, that emulates a scene where the two of them are fighting in the comics. Kingpin is his most notorious and most known enemy to Daredevil, and Daredevil on several occasions did form alliance with Spider-Man in order to fight the common enemy. This particular Daredevil, in my opinion, looks a bit better than the one from the early Marvel Legends, only because the colors seem brighter and better on him, and the head sculpt is also a bit of an improvement. But let's put them side by side and then you guys can see what I mean. I have my preference, this one on the left, although I do not undermine the effort that was invested on the Daredevil on the right. Each of them has something to offer sculpt-wise and color-wise, and this would be then the Daredevil from the Face of Marvel Legends. The Face of Marvel Legends Daredevil did come with a variation of itself, so did the Kingpin. I only have here the variation of the Daredevil, I do not have the variant of the Kingpin. The variant of the Kingpin was the same figure, but the face was more angry looking and his clothes were of a different color, more black rather than white. He also came with a walking stick that has a diamond on it. This particular variation of the Daredevil came in that chase variant 2-pack, and here it's practically the same exact figure with the same weapon, except for only one small difference. The head does not have a mask on it, and you can actually see the face of Matt Murdock underneath it, while the mask is actually rolled up off the face. So the articulation is the same and the sculpt is the same except for the head, and I'll just put them side by side so that you guys can see what I mean by it. So here we go. We have the two Daredevils, the masked version and the unmasked version. And the final version of Daredevil that I have is from the time period when Hasbro took the license for making Marvel characters and continued the Marvel Legends up until these days. This is a Daredevil first appearance costume from the Nemesis wave. Took me a while to find this particular one, but I did manage to find them after a long search. And he also came with the Billy Club, just like the Toy Biz version, again located on the left leg rather than the right. And he has just as much articulation as any other Marvel Legend, except the articulation in the hands was taken away and limited to the wrist area, and the fact that the hand can be turned and rotated 360 degrees. Also, compared to the previous Daredevil figures, this particular one is a bit more skinnier in the appearance than the other ones, and a slightly shorter than the older ones. But I will show you for the comparison's sake. This is the first version of the Daredevil on the right from the Toy Biz time compared to the Hasbro one on the left. And then here we go with the Face of Daredevil, again by Toy Biz, next to the Hasbro one. I like this particular one due to the fact that I really like the combination of the colors of this particular costume, and the fact that it accentuates the bright yellow part of the costume, which I am quite impressed with. And that would be the story of the Daredevil and the 4 variations of the character that I have. If you like this video and you'd like to see more, because I have plenty more of Marvel figures and many others from different toy lines, please let me know. I can also do request reviews depending if I have the character in question, and I can answer any questions that you might have. And if you like this video, please give me a like and subscribe if you like to see more. And that would be all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.